Hey Midpointers! Today we're going to talk about a time in the Bible where a church was going through some conflict. They had people in the church that said, hey, I don't want to follow Jesus anymore and I'm going to leave the church. But they did not just leave the church, they also started talking bad about the people that decided to stay in the church. Well, in 1 John, this is a letter to the people that stayed in the church to encourage them to not give in to the conflict and to respond in a loving way. Let's look at 1 John 3:16 through 20. We know what love is because Jesus Christ gave his life for us, so we should give our lives for our brothers and sisters. Suppose someone sees a brother or sister in need and is able to help them. And suppose that person doesn't take pity on these needy people. Then how can the love of God be in that person? Dear children, don't just talk about love. Put your love into action. Then it will truly be love. Here's how we know that we hold to the truth. And here's how we put our hearts at rest, knowing that God is watching. If your heart judges us, we know that God is greater than our hearts, and he knows everything. Jesus gave up his life not just for you or for me, but for the people that you think that he wouldn't give his life for. He died on the cross for us. That was the way he showed his love. That was an action, and he wants us to put our love into action. We have to ask ourselves, how can I show the love of Jesus to others by my actions? I will give you an example. Me and my life group, we got together and we put some care packages together for the homeless. A care package may include like a brush, a toothbrush, toothpaste, shampoo, conditioner, some socks, and maybe a gospel tract, or sometimes we even had gift cards for food. And we would put this together and hand them out to the homeless people on the street. Well, how about we go ahead before I finish telling you about the story and read Proverbs 22:8 through 9. Those who implant injustice harvest disaster, and their reign of terror will come to an end. Blessed are those who are generous, because they feed the poor. This is one example of how Jesus wants us to show our love to those in need. And Proverbs says, blessed are those who are generous. Some of us in this room are not generous. I'm sure you don't want to give that person next to you a piece of your chips, right? Someone in the Bible that is known to be generous was King Solomon. At the beginning of his reign, God told him, ask for me anything that you want and I'll give it to you. Instead of him being selfish and asking for money or fame, he asked for wisdom because he wanted to be able to lead his people in the way that God wanted him to. And he wanted them to be able to trust him and look up to him. But like Solomon, we want to be wise and share what God has given us. What gifts and talents has God given you that you can use to share with others? You see, when the ladies and I got together and we made those care packages, we all had different gifts, but we came together as a team to provide for the homeless. It took one woman and her gift of generosity to come up with the idea to feed the homeless. And it took another woman with her gift of organization and administration to put it all together. And then it took the rest of us to come together as a team and give it out to the homeless. Matthew 25:35. For I was hungry and you fed me. I was thirsty and you gave me a drink. I was a stranger and you invited me into your home. This verse means that when you help others, it's also as if you were helping Jesus himself. Wise people share what God has given them.